gamers, I'm back. So today I'm talking about why I'm the moral gamer. What is my whole position? And I know it's kind of ironic, the moral gamer is playing Mortal Kombat, uh, but the whole purpose of this is to give a balanced approach because honestly, I enjoy games of all types. You know, I played Mortal Kombat when I was a kid. You know, I've been playing games since I was 3. So why do I exist in the first place? The reason is because long time ago I was actually in Target. If you know what Target is, if you don't, you know, just roll with it. But it's a department store, and there was a woman who was going to buy a title for her child, and I think it was God of War or something like that. It was basically she was going to buy this video game for her kid, and the kid's just telling her it's fun. She didn't even look at the rating. But yeah, so she was going to buy this for her kid, and she just kind of assumed, well, it's a video game. It's perfectly okay. And, you know, and I basically, you know, her kid brought it up to the counter and is saying, okay, well, you really can't, you know, kids, M-rated games. M-rated games are not necessarily for kids. You know, and so she's like, okay. And I ended up explaining to her, I said, you know, listen, you know that, like, there's naked chicks in this game, your kid's 6 years old, you know, do you really want them seeing nudity? Do you really want them, you know, do you really want them having access to all that stuff at such a young age? And she just was like, no, I didn't realize that. Thank you, sir. And so it opened my eyes to the fact that the rating system doesn't do a whole lot. First off, rating systems are horrible in some ways because they'll say suggestive themes, sexual themes, when all that's in the game is that a particular character has a specific dress or something like that. A specific motif of dress that, you know, maybe low cut or something like that. And even then, it's very subjective. So instead of providing an adequate or an accurate assessment for parents to find, all they do is they just say, okay, well, this is what we think. And ratings have gone down. I mean, when I was a kid, you could say the SH word in a PG movie. In fact, you could actually say it in a G-rated movie, provided it was animated. Take Transformers, for example. The original Transformers cartoon, Spike has a little bit of potty mouth for a little bit there. So that was interesting. Kind of an eye-opener. But then, in addition to that, you also had it where in the 90s, you couldn't say much of anything in a game or movie. Any profanity, and it went immediately to at least PG-13, if not R. Nowadays, you can drop an F-bomb, you can have a naked chick in a PG-13 movie, and nobody bats an eye. Basically, they might say sexual themes or something like that, but people are still under the assumption that, hey, you know, we're looking at a PG movie, or PG-13 movie rather, so whatever, you know, it's gonna be okay for my 13-year-old. Well, 21, they have a little sex scene there. Titanic, they have the guy drawing the naked chick. I mean, really, is that what you're planning on doing? Is you're planning on taking your kid to something like that? Is that really okay? And so, since the rating system is not fully indicative of what's in something, I figure I'd offer an alternative for parents. Something that basically says, you know, hey, this is what we have. But I also want to let you know that I am a gamer. I have been playing games since I was 3. And like here in Mortal Kombat, you know, I've been playing this one since it came out. I remember the arcades would have to shut off the blood and stuff just to make sure that parents would still allow their kids in. And the cool arcades didn't shut off the blood, so it was like pretty sweet. Full blood, full gore. And, you know, as a kid, you don't have perspective. You're just like, oh, this is cool. So the question that I want to answer as the moral gamer is if a title is right for you. As a gamer standpoint, you know, is this a game you're gonna enjoy? If it's a bomb, if it's a bust, if it's just like, oh, unplayable, I mean, why would I want to recommend that to you? That loses credibility as a gamer. And at the same point, if it's a game that's like just absolutely atrocious, you know, why would I want to recommend it to families? You may be wondering why I don't cut out some of the stuff, and part of it's laziness, but profanity and stuff like that, it's gonna happen in games, and right now we don't have the budget or the time to really. Oh, you cheap! You're so cheap. We don't have the budget or the time to really do service. I mean, if we did, we could bleep them out, put in the fancy beep, stuff like that. But at this point in time, we don't have the staff to do it. So, yeah, you're gonna see some of the blood, you're gonna see some of the gore, you're gonna see the fatalities, you're gonna see, you hear swearing. I mean, it all pretty much stays in. I'm trying to think of some of the other questions I've had asked. But for the most part, I mean, love games. Games are great. It's my preferred method of entertainment. I don't even watch TV much anymore. You know, I find TV too boring. Games are better because they're interactive, and plus, you spend what, $20 on a movie, and you get to watch it like 2-3 times a year, versus you spend $10 on a game and you play the living daylights out of it. I mean, ouch. You play the living daylights out of the game, and you end up. What's your return if you figure it? If you figure the average game is 80 hours long, or at least that's what we want in most games. 80 hours long, you're getting $20 for a game. 80 hours long, I mean, you're getting how much per hour versus a movie, not getting much. So yeah, that's why we're the Moral Gamer, and we're going to call it quits for tonight. But I hope you found this interesting. I mean, even if you hate this blog, you know, still rate it. Every little bit helps. Have a good night.